Please welcome Nissan Senior Vice President, Paul Willcox.
Well, good afternoon, and thanks for joining us here on the Nissan stand. Now, today you could use some very catchy phrases to describe Nissan. Bucking the trend, on a roll, maybe even triumph in the face of adversity. But I prefer to say that we're inspiring a new raft of customers by simply delivering innovation that excites. Now, Interbrand named Nissan a top riser in the 2012 Global Brand Survey. That's a big accolade, but I think there are some very strong reasons why we achieved this. The first is that globally, Nissan is one of the fastest growing car brands. And that's exactly the same here in Europe. We've increased our market share by 50% in just 4 short years. And from a production perspective, we've built 10 million vehicles in Europe since the first vehicle rolled off the production line in Barcelona in 1982. And today, in Sunderland, we're working at 3 shifts, 24 hours a day, just to keep pace with the Qashqai demand. And that's been the case since 2010. And that all comes together to last year, we delivered a record market share performance. We delivered 3.8% share in Europe. Now, all of this has delivered against very, very tough market conditions, a shrinking market, and obviously a very, very difficult financial climate. But we're not going to rest in Nissan, and we're going to focus in Europe. We're aiming to become the #1 Asian brand. So the key question is, how are Nissan going to deliver that objective? Well, the first thing we're going to do is focus on putting the customer at the center of our business. And simply, that means acting local, focused in Europe for Europe. There's a very, very clear commitment for Nissan to design, engineer, and manufacture in Europe, targeted directly at the needs of the European customer. Now, the best example I can give you for Nissan is the invention of the crossover segment in Europe. And that was led by the Qashqai. Last year, we sold more than 250,000 Qashqais into Europe. And with the introduction of Duke, we are the clear leaders in this segment. Last year, we sold 140,000 Dukes in Europe. And that was just in the second full year of production. Not only that, we also pioneered the first mass-market electric vehicle, the Leaf. And there are now 50,000 drivers in Europe, US, and Japan that have been inspired by us to start zero-emission motoring. And it's not only that, we've also taken advantage of the digital world to blur the boundaries between virtual and reality, making successful racing drivers out of gamers, and we even used a computer game to launch a new car, the fantastic Duke Nismo. And in Nissan, the virtual world is nothing new to us. Did you know that over 1 million PlayStation enthusiasts entered Season 4 of the Nissan GT Academy? And I believe these are all future Nissan customers. Exciting, certainly. Innovative, without a doubt. But today we can announce even more innovation and excitement. Nissan will be launching 15 new models into Europe over the next 3 years. We're going to return to the core B and C segments, and we're going to bring the gold dust of our Nismo performance brand and put that into the heart of our passenger car range. And we're also going to redefine how a car company brings technology to the everyday customer. Now, the best example of this is the new Nissan NOTE. This is an innovative car, and it will spearhead our new production launch into Europe. And it's a brilliant package of bold design, smart technology, and we believe this car will be the smart choice for over 100,000 customers every year in Europe. But the key question is, why do I say this is a smart choice? Well, Nissan aims to make smart innovation accessible to as many people as possible, to bring premium technology, relevant and useful technology to as many customers as we can. So I'm pleased to announce on the Nissan NOTE, we're launching the pioneering Safety Shield technology for the first time. Now, none of our key competitors at the show today can boast of such breakthrough technology on a compact, affordable, mass-market car. Safety Shield brings together 3 advanced safety systems. The first is blind spot warning, the second is moving object detection, and the third is lane departure warning. And if we combine that all together with our around view monitor, it means safer for the people inside the car, but as importantly, safer for the people on the outside. And with cities becoming even more congested in Europe, we want to make the advanced safety shield technology available to as many people as possible. That's why the first car to showcase this is the Nissan NOTE. So the NOTE is a great little package, stylish design, great handling, but combined with outstanding technology to keep the driver safer and in touch with their world. We're also extremely proud of Leaf. Obviously the first mass market 100% electric vehicle. And we know that the 50,000 customers currently driving Leaf on the road today are as proud as we are. But now we've made it even better. The latest generation of Leaf has over 100 technical improvements to the product. So what has changed? What are the key headlines? Well, the first is the new Leaf can be charged in half the time of the existing car. The second, we've increased the driving range, the autonomy, to around 200 kilometers. Third, we've put even more technology in the car. The around view monitor I mentioned in the NOTE is also embedded in the Leaf. And we've also redesigned the chassis to improve the dynamic handling. And as a consequence, we've repackaged the car to improve space. The trunk space has improved to equivalent of one additional suitcase. So Nissan is clearly committed to zero-emission mobility. Quick charging infrastructure in Europe tripled in the last 12 months. And our Nissan dealers selling Leaf in Europe grew from just 200 last year to 1,400 today. And now we're going to shift the electric vehicle revolution up another gear by mass production of Leaf from our UK plant. So the new Leaf will be European engineered, using European workers, sourcing European manufactured components. But most importantly, targeted directly at the needs of the European customer. So that's a picture in Europe. Strong sales, impressive growth, some really exciting new cars on the way. But to tell you a little bit more about the global picture for Nissan, and to give you a little glimpse into the future, I'd like to invite on stage Nissan Executive Vice President, Andy Palmer. Andy.
Well, thanks, Paul. Paul's already told you that we'll be launching 15 new cars in Europe over the next 3 years. Well, I can tell you that globally, by the end of 2017, we'll have launched 40 more cars touching virtually every segment and every category. That should tell you something about Nissan's commitment to innovation and excitement for everyone. One great thing about being the head of product planning is that I get to experience every product that comes through the Nissan system. And I get to sign off on each and every one. A minute ago, Paul talked about NOTE's brilliant design and smart packaging. That's all true. But for me, NOTE also embodies the driving dynamics that I expect from every Nissan. So with NOTE as a reference, let me give you a glimpse of what our customers, and indeed our competitors, can expect from Nissan during the next few years. This is Resonance. It's a concept crossover today, but it's close to what you'll see on the road very soon. We think the Resonance is both beautiful to look at and definitely unconventional. Our Chief Creative Officer, Shiro Nakamura, pioneered this look, and he tells me it was inspired by hypersonic travel. Look at the boomerang headlamps and the roof's floating design. Inside, our designers have imagined what first-class space travel would look like. Under the bonnet, there's a hybrid electric drivetrain with Nissan's proprietary one-motor, two-clutch system. It's both fuel efficient and responsive. Resonance is a great example of where Nissan is headed, both in terms of design and accessible technology. As Paul has already said, we're committed to introducing our new technologies right across the range, not just at the top end. We've said it before, and it bears repeating. We're bringing innovation and excitement to everyone, whether they drive a small car or a car at the top of our range. Which brings me back to Note and Leaf, two cars that represent the next stage of our investment in Europe. Our manufacturing plants in the United Kingdom, in Russia, in Spain, are booming. In 2011, we had a record year in the UK, and we've smashed that record again in 2012, producing an unbelievable 500,000 units, more than any other British car plant has ever produced in 1 year. Production of Leaf and the new Note will start to roll off the production line this summer. In Barcelona, we're building a new pickup. Soon, we'll be adding our second electric vehicle, the ENV200. And we've just announced that Barcelona will be building its first ever passenger vehicle, an all-new C-segment hatchback. In Russia, the story's the same. We're expanding our manufacturing facilities, and new models are all set to roll off the line. We're very proud of our vehicles and our technologies. But none of this would be possible without our people. The dedicated men and women who work in our offices and plants across Europe. So today, we've invited here 10 of the production team from Sunderland who are actually going to build the new Note and the new Leaf. Gentlemen, these guys will be with us all day and are available to answer any questions that you might have. And I bet these are the only people you'll see here who actually make cars. For me, and on behalf of the company, gentlemen, thank you. And thank you to the thousands of colleagues that you represent. So there you have it. Our factories go from strength to strength. In Sunderland, more than 500,000 vehicles this year. And across Europe, over 10 million vehicles since 1982. We've announced our new product Assault, 15 new vehicles in Europe over the next 3 years, and it starts today with the all-new Note. We're going to continue to bring as many innovative technologies as possible within the reach of the greatest number of people. And with this focus, we're right on track to become the #1 Asian brand in Europe. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our press conference. And now I'd like to invite Shiro Nakamura, Paul Willcox, and all the guys from the UK factory to join me on stage for photographs. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being with us today. Thank you very much.
Shut